One of the great tragedies of the world has been the hijacking of science as a political weapon. Actually, I would call it a crime. Isn't that what fraud usually is? It's very convincing when someone wearing a lab coat says, "Science has proven that whatever." And most people, when they hear that, simply submit to whatever they're told. After all, who can argue with science? But what if that science has been hijacked by liars to bilk people out of their money and votes? What if left-wing political hacks provide federal grants only as long as those laboratories provide reports that further their political agenda? What if universities get so much of their funding from the government that they don't dare reveal any data that would anger their political masters? And what if those colleges and universities made damn sure their students only hear one side of the story? Well, that is the sad state of scientific research in government-funded laboratories and universities today. If scientists want federal funding, they better march in lockstep with the liberals who write the checks. Bad science has a long and sordid history in America. Let's just start with eugenics. Back in the early 1900s, science had proven that certain people were genetically inferior, and 30 states enacted laws to forcibly sterilize the inferiors to keep them from breeding. And you know who they targeted? Minorities. Science had proven that whiter is better, and that fit right in with the Democrats' KKK. That was also when Margaret Sanger set up her baby-killing centers in black neighborhoods. Planned Parenthood was born. The Nazis used American eugenic science as justification to murder other races. Today, bad science lurks in three general areas: evolution, global warming, and homosexuality. Evolution was launched as a weapon to destroy faith in God, and it affected millions of people who were force-fed Darwinism. Fortunately, Darwinism is dying of its own dead weight. Hoax after hoax and lie after lie were revealed, and people came to realize that scientists can lie. Imagine that. Now, one of the latest scams is this: global warming is going to kill us all unless we vote Democrat. It's a little easier to see through that one. Notice how they no longer call it global warming. Thanks to the internet, people could easily see the bad science coming from lying scientists who were on the government payroll. But it was such a powerful fundraising tool that many leftists refused to give up on it. Now they just call it climate change, and ignorant people still give them money. A battle against morality is rising up in America, and the aggressors are the homosexual organizations who are planning to use the liars in lab coats to convince people that science has proven that deviancy is genetic, that those who practice such things have no choice. It's who they are. They will demand that any and all sex acts be protected by law, including child sex. Well, in a way, the Bible supports the belief that homosexuality is genetic. All humans are born corrupted, and all are tempted by various evils. Being tempted is not a sin. Giving in to it is. They have chosen to give in, and they have turned their particular temptation into a political issue. They intend to ram their sins down society's throat one way or another, and liars in lab coats are one of the tools they will use. Well, just as evolution was intended to destroy faith in God, this attack is intended to destroy moral standards and to silence the Christian church. But there is no more scientific legitimacy to these attacks than there was for eugenics. But sadly, many people die, and children will be molested before this bad science is effectively exposed. Fortunately, there are plenty of good scientists who use science the way it's supposed to be used, to follow the evidence, using proper scientific practices and not allowing a political agenda to drive the results. Those scientists are usually blackballed from universities because they threaten the money train. These are devious times, perilous times if you're a man or a woman of faith, because the new bad science is going to target you and make sure that if you stand for God and His Word, you will be silenced. Just as blacks and Native Americans were targeted by eugenics, Christians will be targeted by the sexual anarchists. But we will stand firm. Truth always wins out in the end. Thanks to bad science, though, people of faith are probably in for a rough ride in the coming years. But the Jews survived the Nazis, and blacks survived eugenics. This is Wild Bill for America saying, we will survive as well. This message needs to reach a lot of people. please consider becoming a monthly donor to help get the word out. Thank you for watching, and America bless God again.